YouTube channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
All right, a healthy, peaceful Saturday to everyone. And much as I want to greet you as cheerfully, it's just becoming more and more difficult with all the unending bad news that we get every single day. Diba? It just keeps getting worse and worse. I think for me, we need heavyweight miracles to stop the unrest inside and outside in every part of the globe, don't you think? Anyway, everywhere I look, there's just so much hatred, selfishness, wasteful death, greed, corruption, evilness of all kinds. You name it, we've got it. Diba? The voice of reason for me has finally died. I think that we should issue it a death certificate, right? Time of death 2021. Okay. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you to Good, Great, Unstoppable, Francine de la Sala show. So every Saturdays, guys, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., I am here and we live stream from DZRJ, 8:10 a.m. And you can also catch us at different TV Plus boxes and also at our YouTube channel. That's RJ News PH. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you will be notified also of new shows each day. You can also generously and nicely CLC, right? Leave good comments only because marami ng nega sa labas. Okay? So, pakiusap lang po, right? Be nice and be kind. Okay? So, anyway, so speaking of our socket platforms, right? Our YouTube, our Facebook live stream, I'd like to give a special shout out to the 2,400 viewers that we had last Saturday. That's pretty much a first. I noticed it about 2 weeks ago that for the first time from 200 plus we went up to 1,000, and last week it spiked up to 2,000 viewers. So many blessings to you po, to every one of you. So I'm going for 2 million viewers para sa RJ. Ayan. So sa inyong lahat po, many thank you. And may this thank you be a form of answered prayer po sa inyo. Okay? So anyway, tomorrow, guys, I am turning a year older. Diba? I am going to be 50 cuter. And what I love about being in the radio, I'm sure you've heard, is because, the transmission here gets thrown out into the farthest reach of the universe. Okay, so it's the closest that I can get to the heavens, and therefore this is my birthday message to the highest intuit who made every creation we see around us possible. Okay, so first and only thing that I want to say is thank you very much to my Almighty Creator. I have so many unanswered prayers, so many heartaches, and so many forms of betrayals. But I still cannot imagine the immense power that animates every area in my life effortlessly. So to the one who makes all things certain, when I close my eyes and enter the now, it is like my life is magic, even if it is very incomplete. So, so you, my dear Creator, you are truly mind-blowing. Everything that you do for us, mankind. So, I hope that my efforts to make a difference each day is appreciated. I am not perfect, and you know that, and I never will be. But you also know me that I don't accept that, and I will strive to be better each day. So thank you for the power you lend me and my life and the lives of my loved ones. Thank you for the graces and miracles that keep our lives together. I am totally dependent on you. Without you, there is no life worth living. Thank you for accepting me as I am. I hope each day for my dreams, my goals, intentions, and purpose that I am enough. Though I am tired of being a servant, right, that go in circle, in everything that I do, it will always be towards the highest service of you. So keep the miracles coming, answer my heart's miracles, and I promise to always be the miracle. So that is the message that I'm sending to the heavens. My gratitude message that I am sending to the heavens. So I hope it gets picked up. I really just want to say thank you. I'm not blessed as I would want to be, or I seem to be for anyone out there, not in that way that you may imagine, right? I only speak English. I only speak English, but that's it. I'm far from being wealthy, but nevertheless, I'm most likely wealthy for in terms of the love that I receive from the highest Almighty. So being here, being in the radio, and tomorrow is my birthday, I just want to say my thanks, and my thanks through the power of the transmission of DZRJ 810 a.m. So maraming salamat, Lord. Anyway, so if you guys could talk to God, right? When I was writing this prayer, I was wondering if you could talk to God, and if he could hear you face to face, what would you say? Diba? So anyway, the thank you message does not even begin to scratch the surface of what I really want to say to him. I think I would even do a song and dance number exhaustively until I am tired. Or maybe a chant and a cheer as well. Now, my life isn't as rosy as I want it to be, but categorically speaking, if I could get the chance to speak to him up close and personal, I would be very creatively expressive. And I am sure also that I will cry or sob like a child for all the pains. But, yun nga, my pains are, there are more people out there who's probably like in Afghanistan, diba? So who am I? Not yet. My goal is to bring more goodness out there, so that it will so it can level the playing field, or overpower all kinds of evil, and help you also do that same thing. So kayo, if you talk to God, will you also do a song and dance number? Diba? If you want to talk to God and say something to him, you know what? Send a message, right? I don't know, maybe I don't think we can take phone calls, but you can send a message here and say, "Dear God," and I will read it out, and then just write your name there, and at least it's permanently out there in space. So that's what's great about being on the radio. Anyway, so if you ever do get to talk to God, I'm sure also that it will be cathartic and healing. Okay. So anyway, since I hold the mighty voice box, as I said, diba, this transmission reaches as far as it can up to the heavens. I would like to give also a loving shout out to my dear friend Jigs Latosa. I only found out today that COVID-19 got him a few months back. I was wondering why suddenly I noticed that he hasn't been posting late. Maybe he was trying to send me a message. Maybe he was trying to say hello to me, because, out of the blue, I just thought of, out of the blue, I just noticed that he wasn't posting as much. And when I went to his wall, the last posts were me, and I messaged right away our common friend, and it turned out that he passed away because of COVID. So to Jigs, right? You were never an acquaintance to me. Humble is an understatement. Though you were way too better than me, you never made me feel small. You saw me as a professional and looked forward to even meeting up whenever you were in Manila. I will miss you, your FB posts. That is the only way that we could connect because you used to be just in Iloilo. Now you're even farther. Anyway, they were intelligent and showed their inner force. You're too young, Jigs, to have left us. I suggest up there you get a payback. You demand it. Okay. Anyway, thank you. You're always larger than life. You got that message across without saying anything except just by doing your work and your passion. Love to you, Jigs. And never did I ever want to say goodbye too soon. You are owed peace, and I hope that more that you have that more than you possibly imagine and experience. So, Jigs Lactosa, kudos for a life well lived. So anyway, what a somber start to a show, right? Yeah. I tell you guys, these sad news and harshness of the world are already starting to get to me. It's getting harder to believe that we can still make a difference. Diba? All the good guys. Or maybe I should just lock my focus on the 1% who are able to make a difference, right? So anyway, speaking of the 1%, if you notice in a span of 2 months, or less, three giants, three multi-billionaires launched their rocket ships to space with civilians on board, not astronauts. Okay, so of all the events I never expected to see in my lifetime, this space company, space tourism, space development, space age are my most favorite. Imagine mankind as intergalactic space travelers or intergalactic inhabitants. Right? You'd never imagine that. When I was before the idea of space tourism came, I always said to myself that one day when I leave this earth, I'm sure the very first place I will go to are all those nebulas. I want nebulas, those star clusters. I want to see them and witness them because I thought that I had to be 100 years old before 100. I had to be 100 years old and then had to die at 100 before I can see space. But with this space tourism, I am so excited. And so when I checked, there are at least 16. Did you know that there are at least 16 space tourism companies? Where are we, guys? I gotta get me some of the action. Anyway, exciting times indeed. But the three giants, Elon Musk's SpaceX, Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. Out of them, so far, only one was made its first commercial space flight, and that was Virgin Galactic. It also makes sense because Galactic is also a travel. They're also in the travel business. They have these cruises. So maybe in 10 years, though some articles said that in 50 years, space tourism will all be easy, right? Will be readily available. But I think in just 10 years, we could make those kinds of short trips the way Virgin Galactic did. Diba? So guys, these are exciting times. Work on being able to afford this. It might be, jarring to you. You might find this, what I'm saying, annoying, arrogant. But you know what, guys? Walang basagan ng trip, di ba? Go there, afford it first, go there. And once you're there, make a decision if it is regretful or not. Kesa naman, we're not crossing the bridge, right? And we're making all these reactions, diba? Mas masarap that we take ourselves there first and then make a decision. And you know what? I don't like to be a space tourist after all. But you know what? I'm sure, right? I'm sure that you guys will also feel the same way as I felt okay, when I saw the moon. Diba? If you are a space tourist, imagine seeing the Earth hanging from nothing but space. You are, imagine that, visualize that in your head. You are looking out a window and seeing that blue marble. I remember the first time I saw the moon up close through my telescope that my mom gave me. Shout out to my mom in the heaven. I love you. And those were just and imagine that this it wasn't even a very powerful telescope, but it could see the moon and its craters closer than what you usually see without a telescope. um uh, and I was so amazed. Okay, I was so amazed that I could, it's like I could touch it, right? I could touch the thing that just went on in my mind is, how could this thing be up there without anything holding it up, diba? And at that moment, I really said, there is really a God, because no one can ever make that come into existence just like that. So I'm sure that if you guys also is able to afford, right, 100 times over, right, that means at least 2 trips plus more extra savings. I'm sure that you will also be so awed. I'm sure that you will also have a drop the moment at just seeing the Earth from space that way. So, speaking of that, right, I can imagine that feeling that William Shatner got. William Shatner is the actor best known for playing Captain Kirk in Star Trek, right? And he passenger of Blue Origin's initial space flight. Blue Origins is owned by Bezos. And you know what? His reaction was captured in video. I think you can find that. Diba? It was uploaded by Blue Origin. And his first words, and I'm sure it will also be your first words, was, and I can imagine he further said that no description can equal that. So true. So I was just on the ground with my telescope that's not just looking at the moon's crater, already feeling nothing can describe the feeling of just being able to witness these creations that can't explain how it that do not have uh, any other explanation aside from science, okay? But any other explanation that supports the science of why how these planets just float up there, and it is not just in our solar system. So that's what really floats my boat right now. So I would love to really get myself up in space many times over, not just once. I don't want to. One of the things that I also say, the world is so small, and I can't imagine that if I die one day when I'm 100 years old or 120 years old, I never got to see it. It's such a tiny planet. So that's also one of my motivations why I really want to travel to the places to the different places that I want to go to around the world, in Europe, right, in Asia, in the US, and even in the land down under, okay, because it's so small. But same way with space tourism, I don't want to be just a one time, space. I want to see it 2 times, 3 times. I want to marvel at God's creation that way, diba? And as I said, this has always been a dream when I was a child. And that time to do that, one needed to be an astronaut. But now I just need, and anyone, diba? I just need to be wealthy, moneyed, and rich to accomplish that dream. So I don't know if it's easier than being an astronaut. At least I don't have to go back to school. So now that's all that it takes, right? That we just have to prosperously succeed. Let's go for this instead. Okay? So again, walang basagan ng trip. So That's the latest that actually caught my attention that I have been following up, and I'm really a fan of space. I should show you my book. Do you know that one of the I think the guitarist of Queen is a scientist, right? I think he's an astrophysicist, and I have one of his books here. So see, you can love space, be nerd, and be cool at the same time. Okay. So anyway, so it's just 7:18, and I think I missed one segment. I did not see this. But anyway, let's just proceed to the conversation right away, and I'm sure that's why you are also here. Okay. So it's our convo for the week is about, of course, finishing the year, not just strong if you can, that's better, but right. Right? So we are now onto the last 3 months of the year, and it's time to assess or do some spring cleaning of our mind, body, heart, spirit, and our lives. Okay. So I suppose the most important question to ask is, do I like where my life is in the is 10 months later since 2021 came? Or you can even say, do I like where my life is 2 years since the pandemic started? Right? If the answer is yes, if you like where you are at, then good for you. But if it is a resounding no, then this episode might just help you do a year and cleanse. Okay? Honestly, guys, I'm nowhere near my life goals. Diba? As I said, the last time I actually owe myself millions of 2021 back wages, as well as millions in 10 times that 10 times that amount of back wages in the last 5 to 7 years. Okay, that is if I paid myself. Okay, if I've paid myself salary. If you ask me why, because I don't ever want to be sampung kahig isang tuka again. Okay, just the thought of it brings up anxieties of being poor and choiceless. I don't want. I like that if I want to eat something and have food delivered to me, because food is my best friend. I like that if I do that, I can easily just order it, right? At least for the food. I like that if I have to pay my rent, that I don't have to worry about it. I like that if I have to pay my bills, my utility bills, that I don't have to worry about it. I like that if I want to go and travel with my family and have fun and bonding, that I can afford that. A long time ago, that was so impossible. Of course, even when you don't have money, you can actually, you can still have a good time. It's true. It's just that you're having a good time under the umbrella of stress. Me, I want to have a good time with no stress. So that's why I really am working on leaving that life of poverty right now. I'm still working on our financial wellness. I want that one day, as I said, I will just wake up and and not be pressured to enter the world so that I can, make money, so I can I can pay my bills. I don't want that. I want that life where I have my financial wellness goal. I have it. I've achieved it, and I'll just wake up and do just watch K drama. That's it. And if I want to work, then I will work. If I don't want to do anything, if I just want to read or exercise or what, that's it. That's the ultimate life for me. So anyway, so that's why I don't want to go back there anymore, because I don't want to go back to time where we were when we didn't have anything and we were choiceless. Now, I may not be anywhere near my life goals, but starting on it a few years back also brought me a lot of lessons and wins that I would not have ever experienced if I stayed unmoved. Okay. So goals provide us direction, structure, discipline, habits, experiences, and results. And there are going to be more failures when you take it on than wins, but I guarantee you that it only takes one victory to erase all the hurts failure brought all throughout that journey. So imagine you're not only after one, you're not only after one goal. There'll be several goals, and likewise there'll be millions and millions of mistakes and failure along the way. But as I said, because you will have every victory that you get, right, and multiply that by the number of victories that you will have, it will totally blow away all the pain that was brought on by those failures. So that's one thing. So as we move through the year, so working on ourselves and our goals, it can be toxic, right? Defeats not only set us back, but it also wears us down. So as the year draws to a close, if we are nowhere near our goals, or we have too many defeats to count and wide open emotional wounds, what then are the best four things to do to tie up the year? So, uh, what I'm gonna be talking about this afternoon, pinento ko lang muna yung aking uh, where I am at in my life, okay? And and I also talk parang I brushed up a bit on the goals, why it's necessary, because it's one of the things that you have to do, and as well as what to expect, diba? But basically, guys, here are the four things that I think you have to do, um everyone that you have to do in order to tie up 2021 and move into a better 2022. Okay? No, time is short, guys. In 1 year, it's impossible that you will get all the goals that you want to set. So maybe that's where the SMART goals come in. It has to be, of course, specific, right? It should be measurable, it should be attainable, it should be realistic, and it should be time bound. So if you're going to be doing that as part of the year, you have to also take this into account. One of the things also that I will be recommending for you guys, that you can do alongside these suggestions that I'm going to be making, that I'm going to be talking about in a while, is to also Google anything on the topics that I will be anything on the tips that I will be talking about. Okay, because there is a lot of rich materials out there, articles out there that can be a source of information or learning, or learning and even direction for us. Okay, now these four things I'm just going to be asking you. Just listen up and apply. Okay, so the first thing that you will have to do, guys, is healing. Di ba nice? Di ba? Whether you're a man or a woman or of any gender, every one of us must take the last few months of the year and inject into that section, into that last quarter, a healing schedule. So whether you have had goals or just about to start one for the coming year, you need time off to close up the wounds. Okay? As I said, there are more failures. You know what? The more that I repeat that, diba, there are more failures than victories. The more that I repeat that, the more that I am able to remind myself to be, the more that it reminds me to have realistic expectation, diba? To have a mindset with a to have a realistic mindset. So that way I get to balance the pain of defeat, and balance the pain of defeat against, right, against a realistic expectation. Okay, but anyway, going back, you need time off to close up the wounds that your life or you brought upon yourself. Because remember, life can throw you lemons, diba? But you also create your own dilemma. And in fact, if you ask me, maybe 80% of the time, the problems that we are in, minimum 80%, the problems that we are in are all man-made or self-made. Can you imagine? Would you rather have self-made problems, or would you rather be self-made billionaires? Right? So those are your two choices. But anyway, so you need to time off to close up the wounds that your life or or you brought upon yourself. So you have to set up a couple of days or hours, okay, in the next few weeks. Okay. So it doesn't have to be every day. So maybe you can choose weekends, or if you like it on weekdays, you can choose weekdays, and you can block off an hour or two twice a week, right? Or three times a week if you have more time. But I think twice a week is just right. So a few hours. Okay, so you can do it twice a week, a few hours over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, or sometimes during the weekday. Okay, so that it you have to make it like a therapy activity. Okay, a therapy activity is not just a one-time thing. Okay, so it's a therapy, meaning it should be progressing. Okay, you have as a therapy, you have to lock a particular schedule until some semblance of healing, or if not full healing takes place. Okay, and you will have this kind of healing depending on the activity that you will place there. And I would not recommend that you just leave the schedules empty and as me time. It has to be deliberate and intentional. It has to be deliberate and intentional still. Okay. um the other reason why it has to why you have to make sure that there's a deliberate activity there, because on any given time, there are also other times during the year, or the during the year, that you also just uh don't do anything, diba? When you just lie down and just decide to be lazy, right? So that's why this has to be different. That's why this schedule, the healing schedule, has to be different from those times when you're just feeling lazy or feeling not up to anything. It has to be different. It has to be purposeful. Okay, so so it has to be, and during these hours also that you lock for yourself, it's purpose. You have to, it somehow has to be like a ritual and a process all together. Okay, so during this healing skeds, these are the things that you can do. The first thing I would suggest, especially if you're coming from a lot of baggage and a lot of noise and a lot of stress, your first hour must just be quiet time. Okay, quiet time. Don't do anything. Just listen to everything that's going on inside you, or listen to the noise. Yeah, focus maybe. Yeah, focus on everything that you are experiencing mentally, or cognitively, and everything that you are feeling during that quiet time. And if you end up crying, so be it. That means that if you do end up crying, that means you have never made the time for yourself at all, or never ever have given self-love to yourself at all. So you have to allow that. Okay, so during this quiet time, so you can do that on the first hour, or in the first 2 weekends maybe, right? And then on the next thing that you can also do, and maybe on your next schedule, is it can be both writing prayer time and writing time. So this is different from just having a quiet time, because a quiet time is like getting your bearings, and it's really listening to yourself. Writing time is, a writing time and prayer time is bringing out all your thoughts, and it's just unloading everything. Yeah, unloading everything from that you have kept inside you, and unloading all the stresses that you have the stresses that you've had during the first 10 months, especially if you are a frontliner. I can imagine. Or so anyway, so writing and prayer time, it's good to close it with a prayer, because when you write, and and when you write and go deep, right, into yourself, you can feel raw. And that feeling of rawness makes you can actually make you feel anxious and insecure. The feeling of being raw is very that's I don't know if you've ever felt that feeling, but anyway, so that's why having a doing the prayer time along with the writing time is like a closing the moment, di ba? It's like sewing up the moment with sewing the wound, right? Woundedness with the spiritual process. So there. So you can do that. So it's up to you whether the next 3 week three the next 3 weekends or the next the first 6 hours, diba? Depending on how you place that into your schedule, is going to be just a repeating quiet time and writing time and prayer time. Um, because that's an important process. This is the unloading process. So if you want to do that for extended period time, or still want to do that up until the end of the year, go ahead. But what I guarantee you is if you learn how to heal yourself, diba? Listen to yourself, hear yourself. If you learn how to unload the garbage and then close it up with a prayer, time will come that you'll probably just do this every quarter and or maybe twice a year or once a year. So how often do I do this? I just do this now. Actually, I don't do this as much anymore because I've already it has become I guess a habit already. So it's there. But I don't do it as but maybe now I'm going to I don't there's no need how do I say this? Parang I'm okay already. Diba? I'm going to the next level instead of this activity. So later I will show you. So it's up to you, diba? You can do it as an ongoing process. But one of the things, so the next thing that you should add there also in the following hours or weekends or whatever schedule that you're going to make, you also must have the affirmation time. So the affirmation time is different. It's just probably gonna just take you so quiet time, then go straight to affirmation time. Affirmation time is maybe the best affirmation that, if you ask me, is to affirm yourself based on the kind of based on the version that you would want to be, right? So if right now, let's say you're just let's say let's say in my case, okay, I am a typical homemaker and a mom, and this is the first time that I'm doing this. My affirmation will not be about my strength. Instead, and let's say I'm a homemaker mom who, let's say, wants to succeed prominently, let's say, in the food industry. That's the career that I want in the business and the profession that I want to develop. Then my affirmation will be based on who I see myself as 5 or 10 years from now. So I'm a powerful, influential business, food industry leader. I am a game changer. So di ba, why do I encourage an affirmation based on the next version or the better versions of you? Because it has more impact, right? It has more impact rather than just the affirmation you typically say to yourself about that typically know of yourself based on already the strength that you have or the strength that you want to have. So look at the future you and affirm yourself based on that future you. That is always better. Okay? So, next, that you can also do alongside affirmation time, which is also is visualization time. So this time, okay, so the affirmation time that you also add to your last quarter activity, as part of your healing, affirms your beingness. Okay, your beingness. But the visualization time that you add to that not only not only it's not about visualizing it's not just visualizing your beingness, your future beingness, but also the life that you want to have. Okay, so visualize that the lifestyle, right, that you want, the look, the image, right? Because you know what, it does change. Let's say, like for me, when I visualize, let's say, the home that I want, and then I look at my present and the clothes that I'm wearing, especially the pambahay that I'm wearing, and then I look at the future home that I want to be in. And you know what? The one thing that and then I ask myself, what would I be like in that home that I want? And you know what? The one thing that in the present, that when I connect the present to that visualization of the home, future home that I want, I realize that, you know what? When I'm in that home, I wouldn't be wearing this pambahay anymore. Things, it changed, it there will be change whether you like it or not. It's not because you're being mayabang, but because it's I guess it's it's the nature of the nature of greatness, diba? The natural nature of greatness that is already within us. So so again, you also have, aside from quiet time, then writing and quiet time first, and then the next one, writing time and prayer time. Then the next session, you'll have affirmation of your beingness and visualization time. So the affirmation, the visualization now composes of your being, is composed of your beingness and the life that you want, everything that the life that you want, the life that you want, and the life that you want to have, and the things that you want to do now. So for all you know, you want to be a mountain climber, right? If you're a homemaker and you're sporty and athletic, and that's, or you want to be a triathlete, who knows, diba? In my case, I really have big dreams, and I can really imagine myself like Jeff Bezos. He can see his Blue Origin space, his rocket ship right outside of his backyard. I want that. I can imagine that kind of life for me. I want to be in awe of my life, not because I created it, but because I know that I had that someone believed in me, someone up there believed in me, and that I believed in me, and that I also did not take from that creator that made us, but I took it upon myself to work on my life and my dreams and set up that legacy. So that's why I am in awe of that's why I want a life that I am in awe of, right? It's the best way to be grateful, right? Grateful to bring out the best in you. That's the best affirmation we can give God back. So anyway, so so your next sessions is about affirmation and visualization time of your beingness, the life that you want, right? And the experiences that you want, everything. So visualize that. Very important for the next two other things that we will be talking about. Then you also have then the last session towards the you also have then you also have healing meditation time. So this one can actually come before the affirmation schedule and the visualization schedule. The healing meditation time, after it's a quiet time, writing time, prayer time, the healing meditation time is just really for healing the healing your mind, body, heart, and spirit. And you know what? I always say this: the best sources for healing meditation music is always YouTube, and you can even just turn it on at night. Listen to headset and give yourself an hour to do that. To do that. So you can put that before the schedules for affirmation and visualization time. Okay, and you can do that. And this one, the one thing about healing meditation, is that I think of all the things here, this will be the one that you will mostly use for the rest of the year, because especially if you're already going to especially because one, you're already either you're already at work or burdened with your work. and more especially if you're going to add goal getting as part of your routine. So you need to be able to have this tool with you the rest of the year. So anyway, so the last thing that you will do in the healing time towards the end of the maybe sometime December, right, or the first week of January, is personal promise time. So after you have done the quiet time, the writing time, the prayer time, affirmation schedule, the visualization, the healing meditation during this as a process of healing, right, tying up 2021, you have to make a personal promise time. I think that's also important. You can, for me, I don't think, for me personally, uh, don't you don't have to make you don't have to make big personal promises, okay? But what I know of it is that if you make big personal promises, even if it's seemingly impossible, you will still, even if you fail, okay, you will still be a success over the others. So you're still miles ahead than everyone else who did not even try. So that's just my take on that, diba? So as they say nga, go for the stars. If you don't make it, you'll land, I think, in the moon. Or aim for the moon. If you don't make it, you land among the stars, something like that. So good. So it's up to you. So you can make a realistic promise to yourself that what you will do for yourself for 2021, and what you will achieve for the year 2022. I mean, not 2021. You can make it small, medium, or large. It's up to you. Okay, it's really up to you. So those are the things that you. Uh, those are the those are the activities that you can use up for the healing up 2021 for the year, or even as far back as 5 years ago, or 7 years ago, or 10 years ago, diba? You may need more time, I don't know, right? But these are the activities that you can put there. I think the most, if I'm a beginner at this, the most exciting part for me to start, the most exciting process of this is the quiet time. It can be scary, right? Because we will be facing our demons and our dramas, right? But it can also be cathartic and healing. It's nice when, one of the things that when it comes to becoming something or somebody, having something, or becoming huge in life, being self-aware is a very, very, very important skill. And having self mastery is being self aware and having self mastery are the two most important steps to anything that you will take on, right? Anything that you will take on in your life, whether it's your healing, or your professional success, or any kind of success, or any kind of happiness. So for me, if I were a beginner, I'd look forward to the quiet time. Nothing, guys. When I say quiet time, no noise. It's just you in the room, maybe lying down on your bed or in a lotus position. It's up to you. Okay. So again, the activities that you must first put there in the healing include quiet time, writing time, prayer time, affirmation time, healing meditation time, affirmation time, visualization time, healing meditation time, and personal promise time. All right. So you have to how many weeks do we have? Pretty much, I think we have 10 weeks to go. So it's up to you how to schedule that. Okay. You can go beyond an hour. It's up to you, and combine maybe quiet time, and then after the first 30 minutes, go to the writing and the prayer time. It's up to you. Okay. If you want to start 2022 right away, especially. Then, second thing that you will have to do, the activity that you will have to place there, you have to have this is funny, assessment. Wait, let me just retype that. You also have to have a schedule for assessment. Once you're emotionally getting better and also fired up, diba, after the healing process, I'm sure you're gonna get excited because you're gonna get excited once you've become once you've mastered affirmation, diba, especially of your future self. Once you have concrete image of what your life is gonna be like once you take on your goals and your dreams, right? This activities can also after healing can also fire you up. So once you're there, start going over the areas of your life that you want to improve. Okay, I also suggest that look at YouTube videos that show the endpoints. Okay, the endpoints that you desire for the areas of the life that you want. Okay, in my case, the endpoints, I really, the kind of house that I want for myself, I really go to house and home videos. Then I go to a lot of videos on especially the ones in California or in Malibu. I look at all those mansions. I get ideas there. Then it concretizes the kind of house that I want to live in, right? And my house is really going to be a very, very functional and beautiful home. I'm sure of that. Functional because it's really it's really designed for how we move around the house in our interest. So there. So anyway, so I suggest you look at YouTube videos that show the endpoints you desire for the areas of your life that you want. Okay. You can also watch videos of how these were accomplished by successful individuals. Like for example, if you like the videos of the, let's say, homes of the rich and famous, and you look at the person who have homes then like let's say Elon Musk, right? Find out what his house looks like or something, homes that he had owned before. So check it out and find out how they got there, right? So you can do that. It's important. Why is this important? Because you know what, you can't a really nice house is not going to land in your lap, right? Or if you want, let's say, a G5, your own personal plane, right? Jet plane, your own personal jet plane. It's not just gonna land in your lap, and if it does, you're dead. Just kidding. Joke, joke. And so your point is, you also have to. You also need a vehicle, and that vehicle needs someone who will be in the process, right? Who will run and not just walk, but run and really work that process so that you can achieve whatever you can achieve, even 1%, okay, of the life that you want. Okay, so anyway, as again, it's good to have an idea of the paths towards these life goals and your life dreams. So by watching successful people, uh, on how they've done it, so that they can own all those the kind of life that you want, then by all means, diba? If you watch that, then it gives you an idea also. Okay, that I'm gonna need a vehicle. What vehicle do I want? If Elon Musk went for his passion, can I also go for my passion? See, those things will crop up once you start watching, diba, these videos. Anyway, I also recommend watching videos of the life destination so you can fall in love with the life that you want to create. So what are those life destinations? Maybe travel videos, diba? Or owning a home somewhere. Me in New York, right? All those brownstone apartments. I really love them, especially when they are made over. So I have a couple of brownstone apartments that I have my eye on, and it's somewhere in the 2 million, or I think a $9 million, and I think that's affordable. Right? That's affordable if my goal is to become a multi-billionaire, or yeah, multi-billionaire. You know what, guys? Nowadays, 230,000 per square meter na. Ay, 230 million are the going rates for a nice property in a nice subdivision. So syempre, you also have to aim for a nice subdivision. You have to educate yourself. You have to level up. Why? Right? Why? Because that's the nature of things, right? That's the nature of things. We have to level up. We can't stay stuck. If we want change, we have to change ourselves. That's just the way it is. So anyway, another thing that you have to assess is also your discipline and habits. Rate each discipline that you will need, right, in achieving any of your goals. Rate them from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being really very good. That way, you know which aspect in you that you have to work on, diba? So usually where you are weak, that's the one that you need to strengthen. Okay? Discipline and habits are actually the ones that take us to our goals. And conversely, it is also the goals that show us what kind of discipline or habits we need to work on more. So assessing therefore both the areas of our lives that we want to improve, or our lives that we want to be happy and be proud in, and also assessing our power, diba? Power, meaning the strengths that we have and the weakness that we have, help in the direction that we will take. Okay, direction we will take for the any of those goals we want to achieve starting year 2022. Okay, then number three, goal setting time. So also in this last quarter, maybe you can do it on the first week of January. Once you have assessed the areas of your lives that you want to be happy and proud in, choose top two or three that you want to that you really want to prioritize. You can work on goal for that you want to prioritize. Um, you can now once you have the top three, you can also work on just one goal first for the coming year. And so if that's the case, you have to choose which of the three that is going to be needs more attention, needs more priority, and can really, help, if can really also have positive spillover effects on the other goals that you are working on. Like for example, you have financial wellness, health, and let's say travel. That's your personal goal. You want to travel 2 times or 4 times this year. So if you let's say, but of the three, it's the financial wellness that's going to help bring in the health, good health, and also bring the opportunity to travel, right? Because so you can choose instead financial wellness as your number one priority, not from a priority goal. You know what, the reason why you have to choose only top three out of the many goals that you may have, because there are also the responsibilities and roles that you carry, or that you also take on. And since there's only, like, we're only awake 16 hours, and about 13 hours of this is spent on preparing for the day and work and doing homemakers or whatever, the only time we really just have for ourselves is most likely just 3 hours, and baka we're really tired. So we have to create a balance between time and task, goal, task and time management. So choose one, diba? If out of the top three, choose one that you really want to work on. Okay. Now, since it's pandemic and health is an all-time scare, I suggest you prioritize wealth and health and a personal goal if you're gonna choose top three. Okay. If you must go for three goals, maybe one rule of thumb that I can give you as beginners is the 3 to 1 degrees of priority. So so 3 to 1, meaning your top one goal must have the number third level of degree of importance. Okay, so top one goal, third level of degree. Second goal will have second level of degree, and first goal will have no, I mean third goal will have top one goal will have third degree level of importance. Top two goal will have wait, I'm confused already. This is math. So yeah, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, and 3, 1. Baliktad lang siya. Okay? So this is where you will put most weight on, in other words, your top one goal. Okay, so that's a 3 to 1 degree. Okay, the level of degrees of priorities. Okay, so 3 to 1. 3 for top one goal, 2 for top two goal, and 1 for top three goal. There. Okay, I hope that's clear enough in your head. All right. So this way, also, if you do it, if you only choose to work on one goal, if you use this 3 to 1 degree of priority, this way you get frustrated on the right failures or mistake, or you get frustrated on where it really matters the most if there are setbacks. Okay. So now, those are the I was supposed to discuss four, but it's already 7:58. Number four, I'll just make this really quick. Time blocking and time reorientation. Towards the end of the year, when you are a work in progress in terms of your healing, and you already know your goal, you've already made an assessment, and if you've already have your goals, you can now look at your usual schedules and align both goals and time for them. So doing time management on a daily, weekly, or a yearly basis is really very tedious. So having a telescopic view of your year ahead alongside your typical routine, your typical schedule, you can now block time for your goals and your action plans. Okay. Don't do the 3 to 1 again. So don't overfill it, because you might, especially if as a beginner, you might end up setting yourself up for failure if you keep putting everything there. So study first, time block, di ba? Kaya nga, goal 1, third degree, so it might probably take twice in a week, and then maybe for your health goal, also maybe 1 time or 2 times, whatever that is, di ba? And then for your personal goal, maybe 1 time a week. Ganun lang siya. So you can now block off your goal. Once you have a telescopic view, you cannot time block for your goals and action plans. So this is just a rough draft. It's not this activity is just to give you an idea of how your scheduling will look like. Okay. So again, time blocking is very important. Do your routines first. When you make your schedule, block the time. Then that's when you put your routine in your routine in your schedule. That's what you do. Okay. So there you have it, the top 4 best year-ender activity, or top 4 2022 preparation activities. Think of it as setting yourself up for success. And the very act of doing this is already a gift to yourself, a gift to the self. Imagine what the rest of the new year can be for you if you push the plan, build milestones, and make even the simple goals happen. So 7 years ago, I was just happy with the breakthrough of knowing happiness inside out. And 7 years later, after pursuing success, I have milestones and some degree of successes. I can never imagine. After pursuing success, I have now milestones and some degree of success I can never have imagined had I just stayed happy. There's more to being happy as a state, guys. Okay? So this is DJ Chin leaving you with this. As Kat Cora says, a professional chef best known for Iron Chef, set yourself up for success from the beginning and then focus on maintaining that success. So guys, thank you for tuning in, and see you again next week. Good night, everyone. And again, hashtag Gacha. Thank you.
The views and comments of the